what you want, do it. Do what you want, do what you want, do it.
Good evening.
Hi everybody, welcome to Aderans UK Live.
That's us.
That's us, me and Bradley. Welcome back to our every other Wednesday, isn't it now? Instead of our every Wednesday. We're still getting used to that slightly.
Yeah. I think everyone else is as well.
I think they are actually.
Taking a little bit of time.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well I hope you're all well this lovely Wednesday evening. It's a little bit rainy and a bit what's it out there tonight, isn't
lovely
it, really?
Isn't the word for it, I don't think.
No, it's a lovely Wednesday evening in here, and on all of these platforms we're actually appearing on this evening, but outside it's not, so hopefully you're all sat inside nice and cosy.
Yeah.
Cosy and warm, a glass of wine or a nice cup of tea in your hand.
Exactly that.
And we're here this evening. Oh, hi Rita, thanks for joining us to talk about the new Amore collection.
We are.
Yesterday you launched that, Bradley?
We did. We launched it yesterday, which is actually in line with when it came out in the States. So it's out kind of globally now. Yeah, because my understanding. Anyway.
They were doing their launch last night as well.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
So I think the way it panned out was that they only launched a few hours before us because of the time difference. So. Yeah,
which is quite nice because normally they do launch way ahead of us.
They do, sometimes. And everybody gets very excited.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, when can we have it?
And then we don't have it.
We don't have it to give you.
Here it is.
But yeah, all done at the same time. All so done. It was clockwork. And that was well done to Bradley for getting all that actually sorted.
You're very welcome.
And done.
You're very welcome. The whole team have worked hard for that one to get it into your hands, into your salons.
Yeah, it's out in all the salons now.
Yes.
On the internet, mail order, you can actually get it on any which way you actually want, isn't it?
You can
indeed. You can ring up and send it out to you, or you can go into your local salons and look at the new styles and try them on and see if they're actually for you. We've got 4 new styles, which they're all lovely.
They are lovely.
We've got the Tate, the Levy, Braylon and the Sybil.
That's it.
So all very nice new styles for us to actually look at. You can see 3 of them behind us this evening. I've already got one on ahead that we'll be looking at first of all.
Yeah.
But we've got 3 behind us. And it's quite nice to actually see something with a little bit of curl and a little bit of wave in it for a change, isn't it, really?
It is something that we've been looking at, isn't it, the last few webinars where we've looked at things that are coming through, trends, that kind of stuff. So it's nice to see that we were right.
Yep.
It's always nice.
Doing the research and getting it
right.
That's it,
getting it right. But
getting all those predictions right, isn't it?
The good thing about these, though, is that we've got one absolutely lovely new colour, and it's a completely new type of colour, which we'll talk about later. There's also a new type of cap.
Yeah, fantastic new cap as well. And I think that makes all the difference
Yeah.
to the actual wig, to the actual style. And for those of you having to wear a wig all the time for different reasons, then I think it's actually a really nice cap to have, because it's very, very comfortable to actually wear.
Yeah.
So no, it's great when we actually seen them this week, because even though we launched yesterday, wasn't it? We didn't actually see them to Monday ourselves. That was the first time I actually seen them on Monday when I actually came into the office.
This is the thing with these quick turnarounds. You don't get the time to really spend with the pieces. So we've called this kind of like our unboxing tonight, because it pretty much is. We've just pulled them out, had a look at them properly.
Oh, literally straight out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were. They've been out of the box on ahead. Normally, if I get a chance, I like to play around with them, cut them in, see what I can actually do and what you can't do with them, the limitations.
Yeah.
But tonight, this week, it has been that fast, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, which is actually quite nice, because I think for you, it's quite nice to see what they look like straight out of the box without anybody having to actually fiddle with them or make them look a little bit more presentable or kind of tweak them. Because obviously with the brochures, they've all been tweaked to a certain amount.
Of course, there's a photo shoot involved, so
so they're always styled, and the fringes are taken a little bit shorter, and everything else just personalised to suit that model's face. So I think with these, they are literally just out of the box.
Yeah,
which is fantastic, a nice way to actually look at them. If you've got any comments, any questions you want to ask, please just pop it in our comments box on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, and we can see all of the comments on all of those platforms, I believe.
We can indeed. So we've had some comments come through already tonight. We have the Hair I Wear saying, exciting, mine are on the way, Amore is amazing, great lace fronts and nice natural density. Super excited, and the new cap sounds good. Now that is the thing with Amore, isn't it? They are very, very known for their comfort. The cap is just phenomenal.
I think that, with the Amore collection, that's what you're going to get time and time again. I think if any of you are out there and you're watching and you've had issues before that you find the wigs feel a little bit scratchy, they feel a little bit itchy when you've actually got them on, you might get advised to actually put a wig cap on to create that barrier between the scalp and the wig. And that's a great thing. You can do that, and that's absolutely perfect. Not everybody wants to actually wear a wig cap.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for that extreme comfort and that softness and silkiness, then the Amore collection is really one of those to actually try if you've not tried it before.
Yeah. So we have a question here as well. Are these in the new catalogue or a separate flyer? There is an entire new catalogue coming your way.
You've got a copy there,
We have a paper copy of it here. So the final version is still in production. There we are, that way. Very, very easy to work with, these brochures. Very easy to understand. You can see everything.
All very self-explanatory. It would tell you the size, the actual, if you've got a short, medium, long style, so you can flick through the catalogue to see the one you want, tell you exactly what colours they're actually coming in, and they'll actually tell you what hair length each one is in
and the cap types as well. And there is at the very, very front of the brochure,
small picture of them.
Small picture of the cap type. It will actually be bigger in the brochure. So it'll be even clearer to see. But you will get an idea of what type of base you're going to get with the style that you see and you really like. Yeah,
those brochures at the moment, as Bradley said, they're actually still in print. But as soon as we've actually got them, they will be being sent out to our trade accounts.
Yeah, they will be.
So Rita, you will get a hard copy of it as soon as they're actually available.
Yeah, there is a digital version that's been sent out to all of our trade customers by email so far. And that's just to tide you over until the physical one is available.
Yeah, so you should be able to actually see that one. So
yeah, if you didn't get it, drop us an email at trade@trendco.co.uk. We can help you out with that.
And get another one out to you.
Literally straight away tomorrow morning.
Yeah, or actually any of you watching, just email us. And if you do want a digital copy, we can send it out to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anybody. Regardless of whether you're a trade account or whether you're actually an end user, somebody who's wearing our wigs or going to wear them for the first time. If you want to see the catalogue, then we can send that easily to
We
you
can,
as
we
well.
can. So another
That's the
question we've
quickest
had,
way.
how many styles are there? There are 4.
4 new styles.
4 new styles,
So-
1 new colour, 1 new cap. So
which is good. So shall we start with the first new
let's
style?
jump straight in. Which one are we going to go with first?
The first new one we're actually looking at is the Sybil, which is this one, and it's in a creamy blonde. Creamy blonde is one of our kind of top selling colours. It's a colour that most people really like, this really pale blonde, which is lovely. And the Sybil is a great new style, about 4 inches in length in that nape area, and it just sits just nicely on top of the collar length and just bobs in really, really nicely. I think the nice thing about this, because you've got a really nice side sweeping fringe to it, so for those people who don't want a full fringe, or maybe you're thinking of getting rid of that look with the full fringe and wanting to pretend you've grown it out and go into a side fringe, then this one actually works really lovely for you. And where you've got those really soft layers coming through, it really kind of enhances all the actual cheekbones as well. So it really kind of highlights the actual cheekbones and accentuates those even more for you. So, and it's just a really soft little layer that we've got going through that. It just works really, really nicely. And this is on one of the actual new caps as well, which is lovely, and we're quite excited.
It's like a hybrid, isn't it, these new caps?
It is. I think as we actually go through, and when people are designing wigs or making new foundations, you're always trying to actually think, how can you actually, you know, change that foundation, make it more comfortable, and to actually make it slightly different to ones you've had before. But the caps have got to work with the actual style that we're actually looking at as well. So this one is some machine wefting in that nape area, and that actually helps to actually keep all the hair sitting flat for you. So it's going to sit really nice and flat into that nape area. Then we've got a lovely area through here of stretch net. So this is all hand tied from this area here, just below the occipital bone, going up and over, straight through into the lace front. This is all hand tied. So when it's hand tied, that hair will really swing and move just like you actually want it to, and just like somebody's own growing bio hair. You've also got a really nice lot of stretch and a nice lot of give. So cap wise, they're around about a 54 centimetre circumference. But if you've got a slightly bigger head, or you've got quite a lot of hair to fit underneath it, you do have quite a lot of stretch and quite a lot of give in there as well. We've got the Nape Adjusters, and these are actually Velcro Nape Adjusters. They're really easy to take in and to take out to make the wig bigger or smaller, just to make it a bit more comfortable for each individual when you're wearing it. And then moving along to the top, we've got the signature look that we actually expect with the Amore wigs. So you've got that double layer of mono top, and you can see we can just separate those two layers. And because of that, all the knots that you would normally feel are on the inside.
Right.
So it feels really silky. It feels really soft.
That is nice, actually.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's just like a piece of silk.
Yeah, it really is.
Really. So if you've got quite a sensitive scalp, if you just started going through, say, chemotherapy treatment, and your scalp's a little bit kind of tender, a little bit itchy and a bit sore, you're going to find these are actually going to be really comfortable for you to wear. And that's a really kind of key factor and really important, I think, for people. So we've got that lovely double layer of monofilament top. And then we're actually going into an extended lace front. So the lace front is extended all the way down to the actual temples at the side. So when you take your hair back, you're not going to see any of your own hairline, and it's going to actually look like a very, very natural hairline as well.
So it's got the best, really.
It's got the best of everything in it.
Yeah.
At the sides, we've got the side springs, as always, which just actually bend into that temple area so you can put it on and keep it in that nice comfortable position when you're wearing it. But it's the lace front, I think, that really does look so natural. And if I just try and put it onto my hand and just bring you closer to the camera, and you can see how natural that lace area really looks when that's up close. So you could wear that, you can take it away from your face, put little clips into it and style it, and just create a really nice look. But yeah, beautiful style, I think, for the first one.
I hadn't seen it in that colour, but I think that's really, really nice. Because obviously in the brochure it's photographed in a... What colour is it? Cashmere Brown.
In the new Cashmere Brown, which is the new colour. And that's one of the colours I don't actually have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's I've not seen the new colour. I've seen a swatch of it, which is really nice. And what the Cashmere Brown has is called a Cashmere Brown SR. And the SR stands for a soft root. Yeah. So we've got...
We have long rooted.
We've got LR. I have to think then which way. Yeah, we've got long rooted LR, which is like a 2 to 4 centimetre root. If it's just rooted, it's about 2 centimetre root. And now we've actually got the soft root. And the soft root, again, you're looking at about 1 to 2 centimetres, but it's a very, very soft root.
It's a real blend.
It just blends really beautifully. So you're not getting that really stark contrast that you do with a lot of wigs. And I don't know what Lynn's talking about with me this evening. Was that one of your comments?
I have no idea.
And she might enlighten us. Evening, Lynn. Hope you're well anyway, and thanks for tuning in to us. So the creamy blonde is lovely, and it just kind of gets a little bit lighter as we go through those ends as well, which is really, really nice. So I'm just going to swap that one over. I'll just give that one to Bradley to keep a hold of for a moment. And the next one is the Tate. So this is the shortest one. Oh, hi Nikki, welcome to this evening. Oh, you are a little bit late, but that's okay. We can forgive you this one. Bless you. Hope you're well, and hope Rick's well as well. And this one's in a marble brown rooted. So you can see what we were talking about just now when we were talking about the rooted colours. Yeah. That you are looking at really just a 1 to 2 centimetre root. So it's just a softer root. It gives the appearance, especially on this one, as if your colour or your highlights are just beginning to grow out, which I think is really natural. And that's what we all want to see, isn't it? You want something that is going to actually look
So the soft
natural.
root then, that's even softer than this, is going to look super natural. It's almost probably going to look more like
it's going to look more like
the sun.
Yeah, it's going to look more like a smudge, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be a slight smudge in that root area, just to give that real softness.
It's more of a natural root than I've coloured my hair root.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. It's going to look much more natural on them. So the Tate is the shortest one. We're about 2.5 inches in that nape area. And again, we've got that very nice kind of uniform layer going all the way through on this piece. And you can see how natural that top actually looks where we've got the monofilament top to it. It just looks as if your hair is just growing from the actual scalp. And again, a slightly different cap to the previous one. It's all machine wefted, so we've got on machine wefting. Again, you've got that really nice stretch and give, which makes it really comfortable for people to actually wear. We've still got that double layer of monofilament on the top, but this time on the lace front, we've just got the lace literally at that front area. Yeah. It's not extended down through the sides. It's only on that front. But what they have done, instead of just giving it a very small lace front, which is what a lot of companies normally do, we've actually extended that lace area moving backwards. Yeah. So we've got probably a good 5 centimetres of lace there.
So this is the classic Amore cap, isn't it? But now with an
but
added
with the added lace front. Because the standard Amore cap doesn't have that, and we'll show you the standard one in a minute, because one of these are on the standard caps. So again, by doing that, what you get is the advantage of when you part your hair. If you wanted to part it, you wanted to change the style slightly, you're not going to actually see any hard connecting seams. And Bradley will be able to see that a lot easier.
Yeah.
It just looks really natural. And there we go. Oh, which way? That way. You've got to do things.
We have to do everything backwards on here, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And then you've got, yeah. So it just looks really, really natural. If I bring that a bit closer to the screen, you're going to actually be able to see that. So just pop it onto a head, and then you're going to be able to see the style a little bit easier. Again, I think for those people who just want a very everyday style, it's another nice little bob shape that we've actually got going on. It's just nicely bobbed at the back, but you've got those really nice layers being quite soft into the nape area. And I think with this one, you're going to be able to cut that in quite short into there as well if you wanted to. So you could create a slightly different look. A nice layer as we actually go round. And again, because we've got that length here, we're really kind of looking at that nice shape, and we've got a nice soft fringe going through. And I think that just really actually helps to actually accentuate somebody's eyes as well.
Yeah.
A bit difficult to see on a poly head, but when you actually put them on yourself, it really does accentuate your eyes. And because of that lace front, you could cut more of a fringe into it if you wanted to. You could actually make it quite shaggy as well, and do quite a lot of different things with that particular style, which I think works quite well, really. And that's the Tate, and that's the shortest new one in the collection.
Well, shall we look now at the Levy, because it has the classic Amore cap, so then you can compare the two.
I can. The Levy is
this one
this one behind you. Well, they're both behind you, but
yeah.
the middle one behind you. We'll just take her off.
Swapsies.
And I thought Bradley was going to put this one back on the head then.
You should be so lucky, Jane.
Till he gave it back to me quite quickly. Okay, so when we were talking about the classic Amore cap, I think it's quite nice to be able to show you that, so you know if you've not seen it before, you've not worn it, you're going to be able to see that difference with the actual lace fronts. So the classic Amore cap, and this cap has been around for 20 years now.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time that this collection has been out, and this cap has actually been around for about 20 years. So we've got the machine wefted again, so you've got that nice stretch, that nice give. You've got your nape adjusters in the nape area, but then the top is what we actually call the classic Amore top. So you've got your double layer of monofilament again, which again you can see we can separate that quite happily. So all of the knots are encased on that layer underneath, which keeps it really smooth and really soft. And you can see where the other one before was different because we have the lace, which actually came about 5 centimetres back. Whereas this one, we've got a tiny kind of 1 millimetre of lace right at that very front hairline. And then we've got an area of PU or tape tab. So if you are free from hair, if you feel not very confident wearing a wig for the first time and you are free from hair, you could always put a little bit of tape on there just to actually keep it in place for you. But the way all of the caps are designed with all of the wigs out of all the collections, you will find that they all are very, very secure because they just fit that head shape really, really lovely. So they don't move around and you're not going to actually lose them at all. Colour on this one is the maple sugar. So it's a really soft brown. It's almost like the light chocolate, but we've actually got some nice highlights and different lighter shades just running through there. So you've almost got like those caramel shades going on in running through it. And when we talked about colour the other week, Bradley, we were saying about all those colours are actually going to be quite popular again.
Yeah,
And
the warmer blondes, wasn't it? The more expensive blonde, they called it.
It is. And I think when we look at this particular style, which is called the Levy, when I first saw it and took it out of the box, it actually reminded me, or it actually made me think of when you just come out of the hairdressers. And you know, when you come out of the hairdressers and you've got that big bouncy blow dry, and you know, your hair's doing all this, and it's really kind of springy and swingy. And with this particular style, it looks, I think, as if you've been to a high-end hairdresser and you've just come out of the salon and you've got that really beautiful bouncy blow going on, whereas somebody's used a really big bouncy brush and you've got that lovely blow going on.
It's got quite a retro look to it in the photos in the brochure as well.
It is.
I think if you kind of put it in the right place where it looked a little bit more polished, gave it a little bit of a hairspray, you definitely have that.
Put some wax through it,
you'd have that,
and really dress it. You can, You've got that really nice kind of soft wave in movement, so it kind of flicks out. It'll just move with you as you're walking. Lengthwise, we're looking at about 8 inches. So it's just a uniform layer of about 8 inches going all the way through. And again, we've got that little fringe. If you wanted to make it heavier, you could. Or if you want to just sweep it aside, again, you could sweep it aside quite happily and just brush it through into the hair. But it is one of those styles that you can really kind of dress it and give it a lot of lifted body, or actually make it fairly flat if you want to. Another great thing I've thought about, because the length is just about a nice length, that if you wanted to just scoop it up, you could probably take it up quite easily and actually just put it into a little clip if you wanted to, and just have a few little pieces just falling down. So it's going to be quite a versatile wig that you can do quite a few different things with it as well, which
it does maintain its shape really nicely, doesn't it? Even when you're playing with it.
It'll just bounce back. And you know, if you've not worn a synthetic wig before and you're kind of worried, like, how often do I have to wash it? What do I do when I wash it? Do I have to blow dry it back into style? When you're looking at a standard synthetic wig from the Amore collection, you don't need to do any heat styling on them. In fact, they don't like any heat put on them at all. And you would just literally wash it, condition it, comb it back into shape, let it dry overnight, and the next morning you're ready to go. So it just makes it really easy.
It does. That's why they're so much better for people that are going through things like chemotherapy.
Absolutely.
Just the low maintenance of it is a lot more helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, because, you know, if you are poorly, you don't always have the energy to be thinking about blow drying your hair or having to wash your hair and do different things with it. So I think by having a ready-to-wear wig, and that's literally what they are. That's what we call them, is a ready-to-wear wig. And it's because you just do. You take it out of the box, give it a shake, and pop it on. And as simple as that. If you want it cut and personalised, that can actually be done. And you can go to any of our branches to get your wig personalised. And there's lots of other hair salons throughout the country who can actually do that for you as well. And that's a really easy thing to actually be done. And if you're not sure where to go or who to head to if you want your wig personalised, again, give our office a call and they're going to actually be able to advise you where your local stockist is to actually find these new styles or to get your existing one personalised as well, which is great.
So we've got one more piece to look at tonight, Jane, and that is the Braylon, who is behind me again over here.
And it's, what do we call it? Do we call it the Brian or the Braylon?
I think it's the Braylon.
Just pop it there.
Because it's an American range. Braylon sounds a lot more American to me.
Instead of Braylon?
Braylon sounds like she may possibly be from Scotland.
No offence to anybody from Scotland tonight.
No offence meant at all.
Yeah.
Just sounds like it could be a Scottish name.
Okay, before I put her onto the head, because I'm going to have a little play around and cut this one, aren't we? We're going to have a little tingle with it and a little play. I'm just going to show you the foundation. So again, same foundation as our, I've forgotten the name, as the Tate. So monofilament on the top, but that extended lace going back. So it gives that softness to the actual front and actually keeps that fringe quite flat as well for you if you want to actually wear it in a fringe. This is, I think, really nice to see a curly one.
Really different
or a
to see
little
a curly
bit
one.
of a wave. We do get asked for them quite a lot of the time, and it is nice to see. And if you were to wash this again, that curl would just bounce back into it. And what you're getting, as you can see, is just that real soft kind of beach wave again. And people who are watching tonight, and I know they'll actually know the breezy waves from the Muse collection. Everybody loved the breezy waves, but a lot of people didn't like the top, because on the top you've got the monofilament, you don't have any monofilament, and you've got the permatease. So a lot of people with the breezy waves weren't really quite that happy. Loved the style, but wanted a different cap. And I think this style really answers all those questions for you, because you've got that really nice wave to it, like we've got on the breezy waves, but we've got that beautiful top as well, and the lace front. So any of you who love the breezy waves, but you wanted a lace front and a monofilament top, then it's a really great option to have. I'm just going to pin this one on just to secure it in place for myself. And we thought we'd have a little play around with this particular style. As we said, these have all come out of the box. We've not done any work on any of these or anything at all, have we? So,
no. So what is your plan? What's the inspiration for what you're going to do with this piece tonight?
Well, I think my plan, when I was looking at it, it's got a lot of hair. It's quite thick. Or it appears to be quite thick.
It's not. They're not very dense pieces, are they?
They're not very dense, and they're not very heavy. But looking at it myself, when I was looking at it, I was just thinking, it's just got quite a bit here. Those side areas, just there. So I wanted to take some of that away. And again, because we've got that kind of fashion with that bottleneck fringe going on.
Another thing we pointed out.
Yeah, I thought this one could actually work quite well, really, because I mean,
it looks different already just from you brushing it like that.
We see it styled with a fringe, but it's quite heavy. It's kind of falling down in your eyes. So I just see if we can just take some of that weight out of it. So we're getting more of that fashion look to it. So all I'm going to actually do is I'm going to use a combination of my razor, which is one of my favourite tools that I use. And if you've seen me before doing any cutting, you would have seen that I use my razor and my thinning scissors. And occasionally I'll use my standard scissors just to actually do some point cutting. So just to start with, I want to take some of this weight out through here, because I feel it's a little bit kind of heavy around the face for this model. And when you're working with curl as well, you really want to actually tweak it at the same time to see how that curl is going to actually lie and how it's going to actually sit. So,
do you find it a lot more difficult to deal with curly hair when you're working with it? Is it a little bit less easy to predict?
It's not as predictable. That's probably the right word for it, really, Bradley. It's not as predictable.
Yeah.
And you want to actually make sure you just cut a little bit at the time, because you want the curl to actually just move in with the other curls that it's got, and you don't want it to actually be kind of sticking out the wrong way. So, you know, anybody out there, if you're going to personalise a wig, if you might be a hairdresser who's watching us this evening and you've not cut wigs before, it's just playing around with them to get the actual look you want. And don't be afraid to cut them, but always just take a small amount out at a time. Don't overdo it, because you could end up having a few little issues. So I'm just taking some of that length out through there, just trying to give us that kind of more of a fashion look to it, really,
Yeah.
Bradley.
So we have a message here from Helen. I'm coming into the Hove salon tomorrow. We'll definitely look at the Braylon.
Oh, excellent.
That sounds like a great idea.
Oh, we'll see you in Hove tomorrow then.
Well, indeed.
I should be around somewhere in the salon or out the back of the salon. I
do love the noise, Jane, when you cut these pieces with a
Do you?
blade. Oh, it's very soothing.
Do one of those funny videos.
We should do one of those. If anybody would be interested in an ASMR video from Jane and I cutting a piece, do just let us know.
We'll actually get Bradley to video it and listen to the noise.
It's like a hypnotherapy in a way. It makes you so relaxed.
Yeah, did you want to explain to people what it was? Because a lot of people might be thinking, what are they talking about?
So if you get a moment tonight, look up ASMR on YouTube, and I can't remember what it stands for. It's like automated sound something reflex. And there's certain sounds at certain frequencies that if you hear them, they just relax you. So they can make you go to sleep a lot easier. But they're really weird ones. They're quite normal noises. Like
normal noises which you
people reading a paper, something like that, that makes you just go, hmm.
Yeah, it's quite funny, isn't it?
It is funny. We've seen some strange ones.
We have seen. And there was one, and it's just somebody just brushing the hair like that.
Yeah.
And it's that just the noise of the brush going through the hair.
And it's actually really nice under a big microphone. But the people tend to whisper a lot as well, so we'd have to whisper the whole time.
I don't know if we'd be quite so good at that.
No, too loud.
Yeah, both of us are too loud. But hey, so as you can see, that's just taking that in.
That's
a
giving it a
little
really
bit
nice shape.
flatter, but also just giving it a slightly different shape. You've got all that lovely kind of curl and bounce through here still.
It's looking quite 70s now.
It does, yeah. And I think a lot of influence, a lot of these wigs nowadays are going back to that look again. And when we've been talking about different styles and fashions, it is very much heading back that way, isn't it?
It's much more, because it's quite retro, it has a more of a photo shoot type look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So even though it has that, it's very wearable still every day, but you just look cool.
You don't have to have it personalised. You don't have to do any of what we're doing with it. I mean, I thought it was kind of great before, but it's just nice for us, instead of cutting straight ones, and you see us, cutting straight and wavy wigs all the time, to have that little bit of curl. And the great thing with these, they just sit in place as you actually put them back into place, which is lovely.
It's definitely taken some of the bulk away. It's looking a lot sleeker with the...
Much better.
Yeah.
Through there, because it is, when you look at the other side.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
If I move this way.
All right.
There you go.
That's it. And again, we'll just take... So really what I'm doing is we've got that length of the actual fringe, and all I'm doing is where we've got the longer hair is just following on from that shorter length and graduating it down. So we're taking a little bit of that weight and length off the actual wig. And it really doesn't take a lot to actually change them, or just to actually, personalise it slightly more for that client who wants to actually wear it. And I think, we call them ready to wear because they really don't need any cutting at all. But I think when you're wearing a wig and you're wearing a wig for the first time, or even people who have been wearing them for 5, 10, 15, 20 years maybe, just to have it personalised, it just gives you a little bit more of that salon experience.
Yeah.
And also, I think by doing it, it makes it feel a little bit more like it's your hair, and it's just not somebody else's hair. That you've got two people who could be walking down the high street at the same time with the same style.
Yeah.
Because we've actually managed to change it slightly. And I think that's what is really quite important, is to really own it yourself, isn't it, really?
Definitely.
Feel confident in it and feel confident when you're actually wearing it. I'm just going to take a little bit of that weight out through there, as I did on the other side. And it's amazing what you can actually take out of these wigs and still be left with quite a lot of hair to actually play with as well. When you actually look at the floor
I was just thinking
below
that.
us, there's quite a lot of hair we've taken out. But it is all about just personalising it for each client who's actually wearing it. And it just, I think it softens it all off as well, doesn't it, really? What I want to do now, I'm just going to just point cut a little bit of these ends. Again, it just softens these ends off.
It's kind of changed the texture to the look as well, hasn't it? Just removing some of the bulk of that curl at the top.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, for me to begin with, it was just a little bit kind of too heavy through that top section, and it needed just calming down a little bit. And I think, you know, we've managed to do that. I mean, you can take it a step further. You can take these sides a lot shorter as well if you actually wanted to.
Just blend it in, kind of connect it a bit more.
Yeah, so it's all softened around your face. I mean, you can keep going and going, really. But I think, you know, just to create that different look, it's going to keep it away from the eyes, keep it out of your eyes when you're wearing it. Again, if you wanted to actually, because you've got the length on this one, if you wanted to wear it up, you're going to actually be able to wear it up as well, which is quite nice. And you can just have a few pieces just falling down in that
It's
nape
quite nice
area.
up with that fringe as well.
It's nice. Gives it that nice shape, isn't it, really? And another thing I think a lot of people don't always do often enough with their wigs is to actually finish them off with some product as well. Because we talk about product, and when we've got our own bio hair, we tend to use different products on it to actually finish the style. And again, I think when we've got a wig that's got a little bit of kind of curl to it, or even if it's straight, it's just trying to accentuate what we've actually got. So all I'm doing now is just spraying a little bit of a product called Wax Blast onto the actual hair. And that would actually help to keep the fringe in place. It's not a hairspray as such, but it will actually, oh, I've come in this way again, darling.
It's kind of like a soft wax, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little, it's not a hairspray, so it doesn't get stiff and sticky.
It doesn't crunch.
No, it is, as you said, it's a very soft wax. But it will actually just help hold that style in place. And I think that's all you need sometimes, is just a little bit of something on there just to hold it
It's actually
in place. And it gives it a tiny bit of shine to it as well.
Yeah, it has, but it's given it quite a natural shine, which has made it look a little bit
it
more
mattifies
like human hair in a way.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when we're looking at a synthetic wig, they can actually look quite shiny. And even though, I mean, that's quite nice to have that really nice, shiny, healthy looking hair, sometimes you don't actually want that. You want it to look a bit more natural. And by using something like the Wax Blast, which is a product from Redken that we sell, it will mattify it slightly. So it's
kind of satin, isn't it, rather than
if you look
gloss, you know, but it's not matte either, so it just looks really natural.
That's a really good description. Very good. Yeah, so it just changes it ever so slightly for you. I'll just concentrate on the front. I won't touch the back today for you all because I know we're getting short of time now. But it's just got that lovely wave. And I think for those people who were a really big fan of breezy waves but wanted it with a lace front and a monofilament top, then that's something that we've actually achieved with this look.
great solution, and it comes in a hell of a lot more colours, doesn't it?
A lot more colours. Because
So,
I mean, that's the thing with Breezy Waves. As much as we all loved it, and we still do, you've only got two what I would call natural colours.
one blonde, one brunette.
One blonde and one, yeah. And all the others are like all your funky colours, which are great because they're
They are
beautiful. But I think for the majority of people, they want a natural colour. And with this one, you're going to have a choice of probably about at least 20, 22 different shades
I'd say so.
in it, which gives you a lot more choice.
Yeah.
Really, which is good.
Lovely. Well, these
It's
pieces
excellent.
are all really nice. I'm quite impressed with this offering this time
I
around.
am as well.
They're quite different, aren't they? Because
I think they're slightly different to what we've had before.
yeah,
With a big bouncy blow dry look, and then you've got the curl, and I love the actual blonde. I think
it's
that
lovely.
particular one, the Sybil, isn't it, is absolutely lovely. It's a really nice shape.
Again, another style that would be fantastic to work with if you wanted to customise it.
Oh, it would be.
It'd
Would
really
be great. Yeah, I mean, that was one I did nearly do tonight, but I just thought actually we'd work with a curly one.
Yeah, it's good to
and
do
work
something
with
different.
something completely different for a change. And that's why we chose the actual Braylon or Braylon.
I think it's Braylon.
Braylon from Bradley. Braylon
I
from
have
me.
no idea. I'm going to go with Braylon.
Yeah, I'm going to actually have to watch the launch last night from America.
Yeah, see how
they
called.
actually pronounced it.
That's it.
I'll go back and actually watch that one this evening.
Yeah. Well, Jane, thank you so much, and thank you for customising that one as well. It's always nice to sit and watch.
I think it's listen.
Watch and listen.
Listen to the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to actually cut them and play around with them anyway.
Yeah.
We love doing that,
Absolutely.
don't we?
So
And you
there
don't have
are.
to take a lot of, but it just gives you, and it does really give you that kind of bottleneck look as well,
Yeah, it does.
which we love that fringe look.
Very on
So-
trend.
It is very on trend at the moment. Yeah.
Well, there you are. 4 new styles, 1 new cap, 1 new colour.
Yep.
It's been great.
Brilliant. Nice evening. Thank you,
Lovely
Bradley.
evening. So I think we'll leave these guys with the video once again, so you can see these styles in action on the photo shoot.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again in
2
2
weeks'
weeks' time, and we'll be looking at Christine Headwear.
Yeah, the spring-summer collection of Christine Headwear. So that's always lovely to look at.
I'm very ready for some spring summer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh my goodness, the rain outside, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Right, well, we'll see you then.
Thanks
Thanks for joining
everybody.
us.
Thanks for taking your time out this evening. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Do what you want, do what you want, do it. Do what you want.